Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Cork Model Farms here. So today is episode 4 and the final episode of my Spain and Portugal / Iberia road trip. So this is just a collection of me driving through the Algarve countryside and some of the spots I noticed along the way, like some of the farms and some of the like trucks and tractors that I saw on the road while we were here. So this is the last episode, as I mentioned there before. So sorry if I'm a bit kind of tired and not very enthusiastic sounding in this episode. So I'm back at home, I'm back in Ireland now. So since this is the last episode, I was waiting until the very end of the trip to get this video out anyway, because I was just going to get all my clips together into one video. So yeah, that's why it came out quite late. And I know I haven't made a video in a while, it's been about 5 or 6 days. Sorry about that. But anyway, since this is the last episode, the usual schedule will be back. It'll be back to Model Farm videos and the other stuff. But this is over now until maybe next year or so, or whenever I go on another kind of big road trip. But I hope you guys did enjoy the series. I had lots of fun making it. But anyway, this is just my collection of all my all the scenery and all the trucks and tractors on the road. Right, so here we are now, starting things off. Sorry about the camera there. So these first couple of clips are from the very first day that we arrived. So we were there for 2 weeks. Now I know I only did 4 episodes. I was hoping to do an episode every day, but a lot of the stuff wasn't farm related, so there was no point in really making a video about it. So yeah. So this was the first day. This is when we were just out of the airport. And this is between Faro and Albufeira. And there's an old truck there. Schmidt's Cargo Bull. First couple of grapes of the trip. And a few oranges there. On them trees. Yeah. I might stop talking eventually, because unless there's something to talk about, then I might just stop talking and just let the clips play. Yeah, this is a very long clip. Didn't realise. And here's an old Volvo on the side of the road. Another camera flip, sorry about that. An old tanker and a cement lorry. And an old truck. Another small one. And there was a John Deere dealership back there. I was trying to get a better... I didn't manage to get a proper view of that, but it was a nice little one, just selling kind of little garden things, so like lawnmowers, things like that. Now this was more entering into the town, and this is more just the trucks, so less of the farming here. It's just Scanias and Volvos. There we are again, another one. Taking a few stones away. Few dashers there. I didn't know Dasher actually went outside of Ireland and the UK. Now this is a bit more kind of out into the countryside again. I think I'm not sure, is this the second day or the third day now? I can't really remember. That was someone ploughing a field, I think, over there. I think this is the second day. This was definitely the second day. But there was a John Deere ploughing a field over there, so that's why I got a clip of that. Few more old vineyards. It's mainly vineyards, this video, because like there's not much else can grow in such a hot country. They can't grow some of the other stuff. There's an old, I think it was New Holland or something, passing us by. Another old truck. It was on the main motorway. A few old diggers there, Kubota, and some other, but one, it was a company I've never heard of. Now this was actually quite early. This was on the 4th or 5th day. This was on the day of the when we were heading to the border zip line, if you remember that video. So this is like the 5th or 6th day, I can't really remember. So this was very early in the morning, because I already mentioned that we had to get up quite early that day to get to this place. So I think it was like 6 in the morning this was recorded. I think this is it's just like this, this one trip provided most of the clips, because since it was such a long journey. There's just an old skip hire lorry. A few other ones. I'm not actually sure. I think this was like mountains. There was a few mountains kind of out as you got further and further to the Spanish border. A few more trucks there, and there's some of the more kind of lighter hills and a few villas and vineyards. This video is terrible, I know, so please don't give out. Just hope you're enjoying it. There were a few cool satellites up on that mountain there, and that could be seen from everywhere. It was very cool. Yeah, a few more old trucks passing by. Here was a proper vineyard, a huge one. A few stone walls, actually. I've never seen stone walls outside of Ireland or the UK, so that was interesting enough to see. A few old this is kind of a bit more kind of shrub and forest and mountains here in this part, so it kind of went from agricultural to like kind of not uninhabited but kind of rough area with just not much vegetation, just kind of like a desert nearly. So just shrubs and that kind of stuff. Tumbleweeds. A few more, like, you see the vineyards from here and there as well. They're kind of spread out. They're not in like an even pattern, like, well, like from the sky, the crop field, I'm guessing, since that was if you remember in the video from the airplane, that was up on the sky, and it looked slightly more, they kind of look more neatly laid out there, but that must have just been with their like wheat and stuff like that and the corn. So I'm not sure if it's the same with the vineyards. There's an old mark there. And nice Scania. Anyway, this is out more in the shrubs kind of here. Again, the sticks. And then this next clip was very, very close to Alcotim. This was over a bridge, not too far away. So I didn't bother including any of the clips from any of the other videos because that's just pointless. Just if you want to see Alcotim, if you haven't seen the Alcotim video, I recommend watching it after that. It was the video before this one, episode 3. A few sheds over there as well. There's some sort of, there's some goats there, I think. The goats are some of the few animals that can actually live in Portugal, like, that are kind of the most common livestock animal. Like, I don't think I'd say it's just pigs and goats from what I've seen. There's not many cattle and sheep or chickens or anything. But then again, livestock aren't very common in Portugal nonetheless anyway. Here's just a bit more of the shrubs and the sticks and stuff. And a few, they're kind of like, I don't know what they are. They're like these bushes that they seem to be everywhere in the entire country. That's a bit of a bold statement, but I don't know what they are. They're not cork trees. They're like, I have no clue. They kind of look like olive trees in a way, if you can see what I mean. But anyway, further in now. This is all still on the motorway though. So quite nice views. Old house there. A few more of the old shrubs there again, and kind of it's becoming a bit more sandy. Here's no Larry again. Volvo. And now we're kind of more into the vineyard area again, as you can see. More of the villas and stuff are showing up, and there's the kind of like wine pressing area, the big circular, the silver thing. And then this was kind of further into the city, so the footage kind of stops here. Or yeah, just about here it kind of stops. And then there was a few more on that side. I don't think there's much footage left now. I remember getting a good bit, but not much, and I didn't get any pretty much there was only like 3 or 4 days where I got footage, because most of the time we Or a lot of the stuff was just in the kind of the Albufeira area, so there wasn't. We weren't heading out too far. An old wine area there again. Also, the clips are small but mismatched. They're kind of like like this one I remember was when we were driving to Alcoteam. The like 2 or 3 before that were when we were coming back. So they're a little mismatched. I don't know how that happened. Something to do with something in the editing app. Here's a huge vineyard here. It was amazing. It was massive. And they all have the same sign for just the wine. It was very cool. Jeez, I thought that I was finished with the clips, but they seem to just keep on going. This is a nice little clip up here. This was on an island. This was an old case that they used for like shoveling sand and stuff and raking sand. Quite interesting. And an old box on the side of it. Link box. Here's quite a better view of it. So that was quite interesting. And here's the last few were just trucks. There's an old Scania parked up there. I think there was something else parked up here. Can't remember. This was kind of a bit more of a village area, so that's why I got this clip. A few more. This is the last of the crops, I think, because there were we were heading out somewhere yesterday, and there was just like a few little bits here and there, pretty much. Oh, Larry there. Sorry, no, this wasn't yesterday. This was the day before. And here is, I think, the final clip. So this was coming back from a beach trip. And here we go. And I think sorry about the camera thing. I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to sort that out at some point. And here's the last clip. This was actually from the first day, but it's the last clip. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. Sorry if that video kind of dragged on a bit. I might have kind of went rambling on a bit. But I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope you enjoyed the series. So as I said, this is the last episode. There won't be any more on this unless I visit again, which I probably will. So there'll probably be another remake of this maybe in a year or two time. Maybe next year or the year after. Or whenever I get the chance. There will obviously be more road trip videos of just in Ireland now for the rest of the year pretty much. Maybe England. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the plan. Maybe some England videos. There might be a trip to the Isle of Wight. We're hoping but that might be in a few months' time, and I think it's September. Might be going to the Isle of Wight in England, but not completely sure. But if not, there's going to be probably some videos of other counties. So maybe like Mayo or Meath again. Probably not Mayo. We already went this year, so might be Meath or somewhere else in the country. Maybe somewhere in the north. Who knows? Anyway, there will be more road trip videos, and also we'll be back to the usual videos, the model farm stuff, and the farming in every county. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the series, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'll see you again very, very soon. Bye.